Hey guys, welcome back to our LLM with no surprises mini-series. Last week I showed you a couple techniques which you can use to surprise your customers with speed, no any errors. Those technique works, however manually they are quite difficult to implement and maybe even more difficult to scale. Today I'm going to show you a workflow automation which takes away all of the manual hassle but still gives you the same safe replies. By the end of this talk, you're gonna understand how you can implement this in your situation and how you can benefit from this. Let's jump into the screen. Today we're going to start with the most safe approach, which is human in the loop. AI does the work, human checks it before it goes out. AI handle the repetitive time-consuming part, drafting responses or recording customer in your database. Nothing reach out customer without you saying, yes, this is good, or no, this needs to be fixed. Here are a couple of reasons why does it matter for you. You're still not going to sacrifice the speed. AI going to draft your emails and you're just going to approve them with one click. All of the mistakes are being flagged. Before any responses hitting customer eyes, you still have time to do the final validation. Through entire process, you stay in the control. AI here is to suggest, you are here to approve and decide what is going out. Here is a simple example how this works in practice. LLM like ChatGPT writes the email draft. You reading an email and approving this to be sent to the customer, or you rejecting this and suggesting what needs to be changed in the email. Your suggestions are being processed by the same LLM model, suggestions are being implemented, and after that a new draft is being sent for your review. To break down and show you how exactly this works in real case scenario, we're gonna use example of a rental company. Van & Go rents vans and trailers, helping people to move stuff around. As you see, we have some pricing here. Van cost for 1 hour is 60 euro. However, when you're gonna rent a van for a full day, which is 8 hours, you're going to receive 10% discount. There is also a flexible rule. When customer books for 6 hours or more and equipment isn't needed elsewhere, owner can decide to give 10% discount on the spot. Regularly, company can go through two scenarios. Scenario 1, straightforward booking, customer asks for 3 hours, agents draft an email with the standard quote, owners approve, and customer is going to get a response. Scenario B, where we're going to use our flexible rule. Customer asks for 6 hours. The first agents draft a standard email without mentioning about the possible discount. Owner sees the equipment isn't booked elsewhere, decide to reward the customer with 10% discount. So in practice, owners reject the first draft with the feedback at the discount. Agents review the feedback, create a new draft, owners approve it, and customer is getting a better deal. Every automation starts with a simple workflow where you're going to list all of the steps which needs to happen between customer reaching out your company and customer receiving a product which he is asking for. In our case, we have 6 steps. Step number 1, customer submits a request. Step number 2, customer is being saved to the database. Step number 3, AI drafts a first response. Step number 4, here is when human is in the loop. You review the draft and you decide, do you want to approve it and send directly to the customer, or you want to reject it, change something in the email, or maybe add additional discount like in our case. With your suggestions, this email is going sent back to the LLM, ChatGPT, which going to take all of your suggestions, implement this in the new email draft and send it again back to you for your review. Until you're not going to approve the draft, this workflow gonna go over and over again before it's going to hit the customer. Let's break this down in more details. In our case, we're going to use a simple form with the name, email address, rental date, the kind of the car which we want to rent, and amount of hours which we need the equipment. In your case, you can use the form which you already have on your website. You can use any incoming emails. You can even use WhatsApp or phone conversation. Step number 2, our customer is being saved to our database. In our case, we're just using simple Google Docs. But again, the database which you're using in your situation can be used for this purpose. The next one is the first draft of LLM. So AI reviews the request from the customer and writes a personal email ready to send in seconds. Below you can see the format of the email, and in this case it's still ugly and not formatted in the way as you would like to communicate with the customer. At this point, AI just drafts a response based on the customer inquiry. Okay, step number 4 is the step when human is being introduced to the workflow. Email lands in your inbox, you read it, check the details, if the quote is correct, and maybe if the tone is feeling right, and based on that you decide approve or request a change. Here is an example how this review might look like. You getting an email with a notification that new client is interested in renting one of the cars. Please validate if the draft below can be sent to the customer or if you would like to make any changes. What kind of car customer wants to rent, and here I can see the first draft of LLM. Dear John Smith, thank you for your interest. For 6 hours rental, it will be 360 euro. As you see, there is a standard price. There is no any information about the discount. In our case, we want to reward customer with an extra discount, even if he is not going to book a van for an entire day. How this is going to happen? In step number 5, you're going to approve or reject the first draft. In our case, we're going to reject it and suggest the 10% discount. As you see, here is the first draft which LLM sent to us, 6 hours for the regular price. And we're going to reject it with following comment. To be corrected, offer a discount. As you see, I'm not really need to mention what kind of a discount I want to give. The system already knows that if you're going to reward customer with a discount, it always will be a 10% or the discount which you would like to reward your customer. We're going to click a submit, and here the loop is going back to the LLM model. LLM model see our suggestion. We want to include a discount and write a new proposal. And as you see, the regular price will be 360. However, in this case, we would like to offer 10% discount, which gonna brings you to 324. This works well, exactly as we expected. And here is the step number 6. Customer gets the response. Here is a helicopter view of entire process. Customer submits the request. His data are being saved in our database. AI, like ChatGPT, drafts the first response based on his request. We as an owner or customer representative are reviewing this response and deciding is it good to the customer or we want to implement any changes. If you want to implement any changes, then it's going sent back to AI model, and AI model is going to implement all of the required changes. When all of the required changes are implemented and approved by us, only then customer is going to receive a professional and accurate email. Let's jump into demo so you can see how this works in real life. Okay, we are in N8N. Here you can see the build of our automation. We're going to follow exactly the same 6 steps which we outlined before. Let's execute the workflow. First, I'm going to fill in the form. I'm going to provide my name and second name, email where I would like to be contacted, the date when I would like to rent a van, and I would like to rent van for 6 hours. Going to submit the form, and as you see, my data is being captured in the database. The first agent reads my quote request and produce the first draft. Then I'm going to open an email box, which in this case act as a company email box. As you see, I got a new validation draft. In this case, I can already see this is a van. So, hello, new client is interested in renting one of the cars. Please validate if the draft below can be sent to the customer. And again, in our case, we want to offer additional discount. In this case, the first response is as we plan. So the total cost for 6 hours will be 360 euro. We going to reject that. In our case, we want to add a discount to an offer. So we're going to submit this request and going back to our workflow automation. As you see, it went again through the second agent, which is going to decide if the first draft is good enough or not. In our case, it was not good enough. So it was sent again for a second review. We're going back to our company email box, and as you see, there is a second proposition. What you can see here, it worked out exactly as we planned. So for January 1, 2026, the rental would be 360 euro, but in this case, we would like to offer you 10% discount, which gonna brings you to 324. Perfect. Our response in this case is just OK. We're going back to our workflow automation. This time it happened really fast. We said OK for our second interaction, and the customer received an email with a quote. This time I'm going to open an email box which acts as a customer email box. This is exactly the same email which I fill in using the quote. And as you see, I just got a new email, my rental inquiry for 6 hours. And as you see, one, we going to receive a 10% discount, and second, email is formatted in a regular way, so it doesn't look like a one which I showed you before. Okay, you saw how it works in a real case scenario. You have some understanding how you can use this in your organization and how you can custom build this for your situation. What are the benefits of this solution? Nothing reaches the customer without your approval. This solution is fast and easy to scale. Workflow run in the background. You operate from your email box level. All of the NADEN stuff which I show you, how the execution is being proceed, that's something what you are not really interested, and that's not something what you're gonna work daily. You're just going to use your email box or whatever system you use to communicate with your customer. It is custom built for your situation. Doesn't matter if you're using email, form or WhatsApp. It can be built around that's what you already have in your organization. Last one, if there are any process changes, you can really easy change the automation and implement all of the changes. Human in the loop is the most safe approach in terms of automation. It is difficult to execute this manually, but using automation platform like N8N, Zapier or Made.com, it is really fast and approachable.